And we've all seen these river rocks, right, with these funny little bits on the outside. If I can get back here, with these funny little, holes, and I've seen that. I'm sure you have. You're probably looking at a fossil. There could be one of these inside that rock, and actually, probably most definitely is.
Remember, in the end, nobody wins unless everybody wins.
I was watching Jay Dreamers about a week ago, and it's a show called Sky Fossils. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. If you haven't checked out Jay Dreamer's channel, please do. Good stuff there. And he was showing these fossils that are basically completely encapsulated in rocks, in what we would call river rocks and river stones, right? And actually, now I should have, let me just see if I can get some actual pictures of this, because there's actually quite a few people out there doing this. All these rocks, right? See, this is a rock. Inside that rock, a crab. This is a fossilized crab. Right, this is another one. This is another one. All right, this is another one. This is another one. These are all obviously sitting and connected to the rock, but people have gone in and they've painstakingly taken off the top layers to reveal what's inside the rock. And what's inside the rock is a crab. Right, this. And there's tons of them. And these, like I said, these are just what we would call river rocks. Here's a nice claw. Another crab. Oh, he looks like he's doing a bit of a dance, that one. Let me see. You'll see I've got a video we're going to sort of skip through to show you the process. Look at this one. This one, he's even got the legs. Oh, that may be fake, that one. I don't know. But definitely most of them are real, like this. You see, that's a crab, right? Encapsulated in mud, which is then solidified into a rock. And they make these river rocks. I mean, you can see like this, right? You can see what half of that's like. So just the rocks that we see everywhere, and we call them river rocks. That's what these all contain. Here's a fossil of a horseshoe crab. Heaps of other crabs. They've even found a penguin in one of these. Penguins are something else they find. And what will I put? Rock. So I never knew that these existed. So what these look like is that these animals are moving. That they're not crushed, right? They're fully intact, as far as their bodies and that. It looks like they've suddenly been hit with a lot of mud, right? And they've been rolled around and the mud stuck to them, creating that sort of circle shape. And they've been rolled around and encapsulated and then petrified. That's what it looks like, right? I'm not sure what the official narrative on these are, but these are literally inside rocks. So you can see, like, here's a rock, and that's what's inside it. And you can actually tell on the outside of the rocks there's markers that'll tell you if it's got something inside it, basically. Rick. Okay, we don't want a Rick fossil. We probably don't want a penguin crab either. Penguin rock fossil. Yeah, so here we go. Like, I mean, clearly, most fossils, yes, are found underground, but the crabs we were looking at are found in stones. They're not found in, like, under the ground in as bits of other, like all these ones they're showing. You can see this has been cut out of a big slab of rock or something. Same with this. But these crabs are literally rocks, river rocks. So let's have a look. And this is probably going to be copyrighted, so I'm just going to flip through it. I won't play it. But you can see this is what he's ended up with. So if we go here, you'll see these are the rocks. This is what he collects. Okay, just these river rocks. And he's pointing out here. Can you see this circle there and a circle there? That's how he knows. And there's another one there. You can see that's how he knows that there's a crab in this. I think these are the tips of the legs. But there's all these different markers. But this is literally what he's picking up, these rocks, right? And so he gets it, and he gets his little Dremel tool, his little, it's like an engraver, I guess, and just starts really slow. This one took him 200 hours. And he just starts taking off little tiny slithers of the rock. And he keeps going. And eventually, you can see there, he's just uncovered the very top of the crab's back. Okay, so he starts working around that. Gets bigger, keeps going. And he's literally just taking off tiny bits. Here he's painting it with like a plastic coating just to protect it. And he just keeps going for 200 hours. And you can see one of the claws here is starting to appear. There we go. Got crab, got claw. And we just keep going. And this crab completely encapsulated in what we're told is a rock. Right? And they have all these stories of geology and how they were formed and everything, but explain how the crab got in it. Now we've got two claws. You start to see the crab appearing. And we keep going. And inside is a fully formed crab. And you can see that's his hand. It's a fairly decent sized crab. And so if you watch his videos, this is his channel, Mam Lambo Fossils. It's a really good channel. It blows your mind when you see them just start to reveal these things. But when you see him collecting the rocks, just walking on the beach, he's showing them everywhere. He's like, here's one. Like, these things are everywhere. It's kind of like the Heartstone that Stellium 7 Mike talks about, that are everywhere. These are the same everywhere. And we've all seen these river rocks, right, with these funny little bits on the outside. If I can get back here, with these funny little, holes. And I've seen that. I'm sure you have. You're probably looking at a fossil. There could be one of these inside that rock. And actually, probably most definitely is. Whoops. So there you go. That's the finished product. 200 hours. He started with a rock, and that's what he ended up with. Just showing the whole claw. This one, actually, he see if it shows that this bit cracks, and he knocks the side off, and you get to see the whole claw. Yeah, there you can kind of see as it's sort of fallen off underneath it. So there you go, right? Is this from a mud flood? Is this all these creatures? Like I said, there's penguins, there's crabs, there's other crustaceans, lobsters and stuff. Is this a mud flood? The mud coming down from wherever, filling up the water or wherever these creatures were, because penguins are near the water. It seems to be near the water. So filling the water up with mud, and they all get stuck, and then it rolls around, and it turns, as it hardens, and they get sort of turn into roundish rocks, and then they harden, and this is what we have. Right? So there you go. Have you ever seen that before? Another thing that we find all across the place is fish fossils. And actually there's birds as well. But it's a fish fossilized at the time of eating another fish. So some of you may have seen this before. But and so all these this is another thing that really points to a cataclysm, to something like a mud flood, right? Because we have all these, right? And you can see this is a fish with a fish coming in, like literally in the process of eating another fish, and it's a fossil. So what can fossilize, an animal so quick that it's literally in the, it's half eating a fish, and there's tons of them. All right, we've got heaps of these half eating. So something's happened at some point to, well, for starters, to make a lot of fish eat a lot of other fish, right? So it looks like there was some kind of disruption in the oceans, and that was corralling the fish into certain areas, right? And so you had all big fish and small fish together, and you get a feeding frenzy. And then something has covered them all in mud and turned them to fossils in the act of eating, which is just ridiculous. To have one of these is just, astronomical. To have multiples. Look at this one. This is, I think it's eating a bird. You can see the feet here, and it looks like these are wings. It looks like a dinosaur. It looks like it's got teeth. But this looks like a fish that's jumped out and grabbed a bat or a bird, and got fossilized in the process of doing that. All right. Another one, a fish going into a fish. So it's just crazy, and this is the stuff they don't tell us, because this raises way too many questions. All right. Fish eating. I'll just see if we put in bird. We get fish eating bird. Well, here's, what's that? That could be a bird. But there are a few of, or maybe it's birds eating fish. Birds and fish, right? Which again sort of points to some kind of cataclysm, and fish being thrown up out of the ocean, right, into the air. Let's see if we can find one bird eating, and then we'll have a quick look at empty Paris in the 1800s. What am I writing 18 for?